Hello guys, this is Gerard Beya. Welcome back to this language learning channel. And now we are studying figures of speech. So we will look into things that we have already learned just to revise a little bit and refresh our minds. So today we'll learn about pun and we'll learn what it is, and I have some examples for you here. But please, let's look at what we have learned in the previous videos and revise so that we remember what they are and how to use them. So we have seen what's a metaphor. A metaphor is just a comparison of two things. I will give you the example of snow. Snow is a white blanket. I'm comparing snow to a white blanket and their properties and characteristics. The characteristic of snow being able to cover things, so does the blanket, and that's the property, sorry, but the characteristic of snow being white, so the blanket is white as well. And if the snow is quite thick, so you have a layer of snow in your driveway, let's say, so it can be compared to a blanket covering your driveway. So this is a metaphor, and we've talked briefly about what's a simile. A simile is just a simple comparison compared to metaphor, which takes into account many characteristics and properties between two things being compared. A simile, we just say that, for example, he's like a hero, so we're comparing him to a hero. Let's see what's metonymy. A metonymy is when you replace a word by another word, and that word is one of the attribute of the word replaced. So this sounds a little bit complicated, but let's just see one example. Uh, I'm loyal to the crown. I'm loyal to the crown. So we know who are the persons who wear crowns, and a crown is an accessory. So it's a kind of an attribute thing. So it's probably the queen or the king or the princess or the princesses. But in this case, it's going to be the queen. So I'm loyal to the queen. I'm loyal to the crown. So this is one example of metonymy, and we can quickly make the association between the crown and the queen. And now let's see another figure of speech, which is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, sorry. Onomatopoeia is when you hear words, for example, my watch is ticking. So if you listen to your watch, you will actually hear this tick, tick, tick. So the word is also the sound. The word or the verb is also the sound. So this is an onomatopoeia. And an oxymoron is when you have two words in a phrase that are which are contradicting each other. For example, if I say the comedian is seriously funny, so serious and funny, they are quite opposite, and but actually this is used to amplify uh, the adjective funny. So if we say he was seriously funny, he was doing a very good job at uh, at making people laugh. So this is an oxymoron and the use of it. And now let's look at a paradox. A paradox is a sentence that normally is contradictory. Contradictory because if I say, for example, never say never, I'm already saying never, but I'm asking you not to say never. And why do we use paradox? It's when it's kind of a rule that confirm. It's kind of, sorry, an exception that confirms the rule. So by saying never say never, it means that you should actually never say never, because sometimes uh, things can change. But this is the exception that confirms the the rule. And another example, because paradox is quite difficult for some people to understand, but this is just a revision. I will highly recommend you to review my videos. And a paradox will be, for example, don't go near the water till you know how to swim. But at the same time, you cannot learn how to swim if you don't go to the water to learn how to swim. So you will never learn how to swim if you don't go near the water. But this is a warning because it's very dangerous to go to swim, and it gives kind of make the person think a little bit more. So you need supervision and so on. So it doesn't mean that the paradox is idiotic. It's not a silly sentence. It's just a way to put things and to see deeper into things. So, lastly, what's a personification? Personification is when you give human attributes or characteristics to something. For example, if you are talking about your car as a person having feelings and so on, or having eyes and so on. If you look at your car and you look at the headlights and you see like they are kind of staring at you and so on. So this is kind of personification. Another word for personification is anthropomorphism. And we have seen all these, and right now I'm just rushing through this, and we'll come to pun. And that's that's my advice. Just go through my videos and see if you can understand all this. All right, so we will come back to this in maybe another video. That's because repetition is a way to memorize things. So a pun is a play on words. It was a word to give sorry, I'm really sorry. So a pun is a play on words. It uses a word to give a different sense to the sentence and add a double meaning. So it says that you are playing with words, and it helps to give another meaning to the sentence or double meaning to the sentence. So let's see some examples quickly. So an egg for breakfast is not easy to beat. So we're saying that uh, as breakfast, so you cannot beat an egg. So an egg is a very common an omelette or uh, so a fried egg and so on. So this is a very common breakfast, and a lot of people are having an egg as their breakfast. So it's very uh, it's not easy. It's not easy. So it's quite difficult to beat uh, an egg for a for a meal, for a breakfast. So what does that mean? It means that it's very popular, and also we're using the word beat as it sounds very close to eat. So you eat an egg and it's difficult to beat. Okay, so this is a play. So the play is here: beat, the word beat, and eat. So this is an example of a pun. And another example will be: the new bill is like no pill before. So the new bill is like no pill before. This is one that I came up with um, myself, and this is because we are in the context of COVID-19, and right now we are talking about new bill, COVID-19 bill, and I'm from Mauritius, and we have just voted this COVID-19 bill together with some amendments to the quarantine bill. And there was a sentence, or I wrote here, lapsus. Lapsus is like a slip of tongue, and involuntary mistakes or error while writing or speaking. Involuntary, yeah. So it's a mistake, but it can also not be a mistake if you are trying to make a pun. So sometimes it might look like a lapsus, but sometimes it's just a pun, very intentionally um, made by the speaker. And that is quite subtle if you just want to give a double meaning to what you're saying. And so let's see this sentence. I'm not sure if it's a very good example of pun, but the new bill is like no pill before. So the pill is something that you take as uh, a medicament, like a medicine, so to get well. So now we're talking about bill and peel. Of course, they rhyme, yeah. So they rhyme. So this is a play. I'm playing with the word bill, and I wrote peel. So the new bill is like no bill. I could have said simply it's like no bill before because it's very innovative, let's say. And so why peel? Because we're talking about COVID-19, about the epidemic, and we're talking about the public health, for example. And when we say peel, it's also to come and cue something. And usually, a if you want to enact a new bill, it's probably because you want to resolve some problems, to cure some social disease, let's say. But this is also to cure some uh, social disease is kind of a metaphor right now. That's why I said it's probably not a very the perfect or the ideal example of a pun, but you can see, these two words, the rhyme just as beat and eat, and is like, however, is just like a simile, sorry, simile. Oh, I'm sorry, I wrote it wrong. Uh, yeah, simile, and simile is you make use of is like or is as no pill before. So here probably it's a little bit both of them. So you're comparing and you're playing with words. So I could just say, for example, which would be more correct. The new pill is like the new pill for the health sector. Well, I'll just correct this. I will write the new. Let's say I'm presenting this new bill, and I'll just say, just like the Prime Minister said while making his allocution, the new bill is like no. Uh, yeah, well, I should avoid to use the word like because this will make it simile. So I should write the new pill is good, let's say, for the public health. Okay, I capitalize this because I wanted to show that it's the name of of the sector, but it should not necessarily be capitalized here. Okay, so this is an example of a pun, and we saw today what's a lapsus, and we revised a little bit the other figures of speech we have seen so far, and so that's about what I wanted to do in this video, to make a quick revision and talk about what's a pun, and this is very strong, especially when you want to mark the mark the mind of your audience. This is a powerful tool, and if you can play with all these figures of speech, it's it enriches your speech, your your writing and your text and so on, and it gives more colors to what you're saying. So that's hence the importance of using figures of speech. It's not something easy to acquire, it's not something easy to master, but if you are being compelled to give speech very regularly, to have public speech, for example, as uh, I don't know, you might be the speaker of someone. I mean, you might be the one making leading meetings. You might have responsibilities at work that gives you this opportunity to give speech. You might be just a teacher. You might be just like me, a simple YouTuber making videos. But usually, you don't even need to have a professional career allowing you to do this. If you want to improve your English, you can just try to use this in your daily life with your friends while you're talking and so on, and it will surely come naturally after some time. So this is what I am trying to do. I'm not a native English speaker, and I have not always been exposed just to this language. And if you watch my videos previously, I said that this is a new adventure for me. I'm teaching while I'm learning. And so if you appreciate the content, if you like the content, give it a thumb up and tell me what you think. Give me your critics and suggestions. They are both welcome. And so subscribe to my channel if you want to keep in touch. And also uh, share it with your friends. Sharing is caring, like we say. So thank you so much. And well, before I go, sorry, I just want to sharing, share and care. Well, this is another example of a pun. This is a pun. Sharing is caring. It's kind of a rhyme. Yes. Um, air. Sharing is caring. Is it really a pun? Well, it's not a pun because we have to see it again, because an egg for breakfast is not easy to beat. So we are not using the word eat, but we can hear the word eat in it. So that's the perfect pun. And like I've scratched this one. The new bill is like no pill before, because I made use of this is like, which is a simile, and now the new pill is good for the public health. So it looks like I made a lapsus, a lapse, or slip of tongue, which is normally an involuntary mistake or error while you're talking or writing, but it might be very premeditated and intentionally made. So if I will say, uh, I share. Well, this is not, but it sounds the same. It's like making rhymes, yeah. So rhymes is very important as well, and well, we'll look into other things, because that's the whole idea of this new program, which is the learning languages program. So you can find it under my playlist, and you will find all the videos linked to this project. Thank you so much, and this time it's goodbye. Cheers.